Hello, this is my setting video, and for our first major supporting detail, we have setting as a physical environment. Setting is the time and place a story unfolds. Each setting includes sights, sounds, and smells. The example the book uses is the story of an hour, but the example that I chose to use is from the story A&P, and the time and place would be during the day in a grocery store. The grocery store was very important because the whole story was about the fact that the girls are walking around bikinis in a grocery store. And that made the whole story. That was what the whole story was about. So if the girls wouldn't have been in a grocery store, or if they would have been on a beach, or if the girls would have had clothes on, regular clothes on in the grocery store, it would have changed the entire story. So that time and place was very important. Our next major supporting detail is setting as a social environment. And a social environment is where you're growing out of the physical environment of the story. It combines the physical environment with the living and working conditions. And the example the book uses is from the story The Location of the River. A white man is researching among native people on the Great Plains of Wyoming and Nebraska in 1844, and his social environment is isolation. And I just chose to use an example from A&P. I mean, from Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? And in the story, it's at night in a busy restaurant. There's a lot going on, and then the setting changes to a summer day alone in a house. And so in that story, the social environment, it kind of changes up, but that's what it is. And then our next major supporting detail is setting and mood. And that's where you make the setting and the mood of each object is placed deliberately in order to create a particular effect. The example the book uses is from the story Wine, but the example I'm going to use is from A&P. And in A&P, they tell us exactly where everything in the story is. The cashier makes a point to tell us he can't see the girls come in, but he can see them on the bread aisle. So the cashier was telling us each place the girls were, and from where he could see the girls from where he was standing. They made sure to have each thing in a particular place. Our last major supporting detail is setting and character. The difference of the setting changes the character. If the character lives on a 55-acre farm, will have a much different character than a character that takes a crowded subway to work. And they use an example from the Cask of Amontillado. And I'm going to use another example from A&P. And the fact that the girls were in bikinis would not have mattered if they were on a beach. So, like I was saying earlier in the physical environment, the physical environment, it changes the entire story. So, that's all I have for setting.